Pony Island. It's not a new game by the time I played it, so before I started, I knew nothing about this game. The only thing I knew is that it's a bit strange, and more than what I was expecting, for me it was more important what I wanted in the game. What I was wishing it to have is at least puzzles, and good puzzles. And there are puzzles, but it's not mainly about puzzles, but I'll talk about next. So I wasn't expecting much, just I wanted two things, puzzles, and in this weirdness I wanted to understand the story. Maybe I got both, but I didn't get them as much as I had wished. Maybe that's what I was expecting. Not much, because it was a weird game. I don't know what's it about or how you play it, if it combines platforming with puzzles or action with puzzle or shooter. I wasn't expecting anything. I just wanted it to have puzzles and a story that I can understand. So that's what I was expecting. What I got, it's everything that I just said. It's a strange game and it's a weird game. It has puzzles and it has a story. Did I fully understand the story with the information the game gave me? I would say roughly yes, but I would have liked the game to be a little bit, just a little bit more explicit and more clear. It has more than one ending, and the very basic one, the one that you get when you beat the game in its simplest form and the easiest to attain and to achieve and to get, doesn't explain as much as I had wished or I was wanting. So yes and no. So did I get puzzles? Yes, some, not very deep because it's not a purely puzzle game. Did I get a story that I could understand? Overall, I understood. And this is one of those games that you can look for clues and keep digging and find more information and completely understand everything. But if you just play what the game presents you in first instance, I don't think it's enough. I wasn't satisfied when I finished the game. But if you like those games that ask you to keep digging and finding clues and sharing it online and talking to people and going into forums and discuss every little detail, this is one of those games that you will enjoy the most. So also, just when I started the game, I saw the logo for the developer and I instantly recognized who made this game, because before I played Pony Island, I played Inscription. And this was a weird feeling because I'm playing a game that was released before, so I'm not seeing the evolution but the pre-evolution or the involution, I'm not sure how it's called, but the prequel, the thing that came first. I loved Inscription. I didn't get all the secrets because life is limited, life is short, you have to share it with other things, and I like Inscription probably more than Pony Island because Inscription is based on a card game. So I think that's what made me enjoy Inscription more than Pony Island, because Pony Island, it's a strange mixture. It's like it's getting mechanics from completely different genres, and these mechanics are put together but they are not mixed. Pony Island gets these mechanics from different games and puts them together, but it doesn't mix them. So if you have a section that it's an arcade game or a platforming or an action game, it's just that, and you next have another section which you have mechanics from a different genre, from a different game. And I feel like if I had a game just with this specific mechanic, I wouldn't play this game. Like, there is a section where you have to bring a butterfly from point A to point B, and I was enjoying because it belonged to this whole thing, to this game, Pony Island. But if I had the option to play a game that is just about this, I don't think I would play it. And it same happens with the other section where you control the pony and you shoot laser from the mouth of the pony, which is not a pony, it's a unicorn. I wouldn't play a game like that. Or probably the closest to a puzzle game is where you have to bring the key. It's same as with the butterfly, but with a key and some symbols. You need to see to understand better than me explaining. I don't think I would play a game like that, but I played it because it belonged to some strange lore of this game, and I enjoy it because it's little bite-sized pieces of this specific gameplay. It's not like 30 minutes, 1 hour of this same mechanic, and I can see how Inscription is the evolution of Pony Island. I can see how, because as I said, I played Inscription first and then Pony Island, and I could see elements in Pony Island from Inscription, which is not correct. It's the other way around. And from a distance, having played both, I can see how Inscription is the evolution and it's perfectioning the formula of Pony Island. Having said this, let me move on to the positives and negatives. I don't have many, it's just one positive and one negative, and I also have a special mention, which is very short. It's just a little comment. So my positive, it's none other than that the game is constantly surprising, because as I said, I wasn't expecting much before starting the game because I couldn't completely understand what the game was about. But as I was playing, I wasn't still able to foresee or predict what was going to happen next. So this game starts as the player playing an arcade game, but very quickly it turns into something else. And then once you go through that, becomes something completely different. And the next section is different from the previous ones. There are like two main mechanics: the puzzle event or the puzzle minigame, and the pony jumping fences minigame and shooting enemies. But in between these two, there are many other things that are related that you can do. And it's constantly surprising because you can never expect what you're going to be doing, because everything is so different one from the other. And next is the opposite. It's like you are moving in a circle, but instead of going around the circle, you are moving through the center, and it goes in opposite ways. That's something that I liked, because it not always happens that a game has sections of the game that are so different one from the other, but at the same time they go along together. They are not mixed. You don't mix puzzles with platforming or action game. They are separated, but the sections are so short, you don't, one, get time to get bored, and two, get time to realize what's going to come, because next section is totally different and takes the story in a different path, in a different way. So that is my one and only positive, and it's a medium level positive, something that I really like. It's not mind-blowing, because in itself the sections are not things that I haven't seen before. They are not revolutionary, but the way they are put together, they are very nice, and I liked it. It kept me playing, so it has to be good. And sadly, the negative, it's the thing that I previously mentioned, and that is that I'm not satisfied with the ending. Any game that is a little bit cryptic, you have the basic ending, which probably everybody that plays the game, or most people who finish the game, or they consider they finished the game, this is the ending they're going to get. It needs to be satisfyingly enough, and I don't think this is the case, because I finished the game and I felt like, oh, okay, this ending didn't explain many things. It's very basic, but I would have liked to know more. And if you want to know more, you have to keep playing the game and dig more and look for secrets. It's maybe a me thing, maybe, but this is how I felt playing the game, and I felt a little bit disappointed when I finished the game. It's like I was missing something. Of course, I'm missing a lot of things, but this type of game, they need to separate what it's basic information that you need to give to the player at the ending, or some extra information, or you finish the game, you understand the story, everything. But if you keep playing, this new information, which is kind of secret, might change the way you look at the first ending. Kind of like Nier Automata. You can have one ending, but if you keep playing and see more endings, you see the story in a different perspective. I would have preferred that here, but the basic ending wasn't satisfying enough. And lastly, my special mention is something very short, very little, and it's that the way the story is told didn't make me empathize with the main character. The story is told in a way that the player is playing this game in which a person is playing a video game and controlling a character in that video game. and in different sections is a different character. Sometimes it's the pony, sometimes it's the game itself. So this character we are controlling in the game is controlling another character, the one in the middle, the one in between, the main character of this game. Because of the way the story is told, seems like irrelevant. Seems like it's a middle step that it's avoidable and you can skip. You can be the player playing the arcade game, not the character in the game playing the arcade. It's just a minor detail that I felt I had to mention. And finally, I'll give you my final score for Pony Island is a collage out of 10, because this game puts together mechanics from games from completely different genres, but these mechanics are not mixed, they are not combined, they are kept apart. So you first play a section where you are controlling a pony jumping fences, and right next you play a puzzle game, and then you play a section where you have to decode something, a cryptic message, or you have to play another different minigame. But these sections, they are not mixed, they are kept separated like a collage. You put scraps from different parts and you put them together like this game, and you are able to make a whole new thing that you can understand from the parts of the other games. And you can only understand the whole thing if you play the game completely and continuously. Same as a collage, you can only see the whole picture if you see it from a distance and you see everything together. If you look at the individual parts, they represent something, but together as a whole they represent an entirely new thing, like this game. And it's not only the image that you get in the end. You can look at this game at two distances. You can see the game as what it is, or you can keep digging up and finding secrets, like if you pay close attention to every little part of a collage. So I see this score very fitting for Pony Island, because I see it exactly the same as a collage. This game is a collage, and this is my final score for Pony Island, which is a collage out of 10. And I enjoyed. I liked Inscription more, maybe because it was first, but probably because it was based, or it was about a card game, which I could enjoy more than the single parts of Pony Island. And that is all for me to say. Now I want you to have your say and tell me, what do you think about Pony Island? Did you play? Did you agree with my opinion? What are your positives or negatives? And if you had to give a final score that it's not a number, just like I did, what would be your score? Let me know in the comments, because I would like to know, and sharing is caring. And I hope to come back soon with another review. So until then, bye now.